You right, Chris, mate?
Hello, mate. You good?
Yeah, look, I need to really confess something to you, which has really been eating me. I've had to tell a bit of a lie.
What's that?
I've basically said to Andrew that Josh Huggett's going to be on this call, and I know that's stupid,
Why?
mate. But because look at us, we've only got just over 200 followers. Andrew's
So?
big time.
Yeah,
He was never going to join us for a podcast, mate, without there being someone of significance.
So what time does Josh join?
He's not joining. Can you do an Australian accent?
Okay, I give it a go. When's Andrew joining then?
He's joining. He's joining any minute. You've just got to pretend to be Josh Huggett, okay? I'm going to say you're having a camera.
You have to black. Yeah, okay.
I'll black
go
your
off.
screen.
Cool, thanks.
Black your screen. All right, here he comes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
here he comes. How you doing, Andrew? You all right?
Hello, good morning.
You're all right there. Josh is here, but he's just having a bit of camera difficulties in a minute. Josh?
No problem.
Josh, do you want to say hello?
G'day, mate. How's it going? Just get a show on the road.
Josh?
Hello, mate.
Are you feeling okay? You sound really
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. I've got a bit of the sniffles now, mate, but I'm all right.
Okay, yeah, I'm not buying it. Is there anything you can say that the real Josh Huggett would say?
Yeah, mate. I never use flash on a first dance because I'm not a fucking dingbat.
Oh yeah, okay, that's definitely him. Okay, good morning.
Okay, that's perfect.
Brilliant. That was fucking dreadful. I loved it.
The worse the accent, the better, I think.
Thank you. None taken.
You can do the introduction, Chris, because you're very good at introductions.
Oh, thank you, sir. Not very good at Australian accents, though, apparently.
No.
Welcome back to the Shooter's Wedding podcast. Today's guest, we've got a guest today, which is Mr. Andrew Keher. Andrew Keher, he's a UK-based wedding photographer. He's known for capturing the real, unscripted moments that most people miss. So he started photography later in his life and left his 9-to-5 job behind. He's built a career now shooting weddings overseas with a raw documentary style. These days, though, he's not just behind the camera, he's also helping other creatives navigate social media, branding, and the ups and downs of the industry, all with his signature honesty. Andrew, welcome to the podcast, mate. How are you?
Good morning. What a lovely introduction. I don't know how I can possibly top that. We should pause that there and call that a day.
That's it.
That's it,
Well,
yeah.
the shortest episode yet.
No, thank you very much for having me on.
Andrew's came and got what he wanted, now he's off.
Yeah, he's had his little ego boost, his little bit of serotonin.
Give me that backlink and I'll be on my way.
How's your week been, Andrew?
Yes, fine. I was on a little family holiday last week, so I've been out of the loop a little bit. I'm not allowed to use my phone when my wife has booked us some quality family time. So yes, I've been a little bit out of the loop, but it's nice to be back to it and trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with the rest of the month.
Where did you go?
I was in the Peak District,
Oh,
lovely Derbyshire in Bakewell, the home of the puddings, the home of the Bakewell pudding.
I did a wedding in Edinburgh in December, and I had my first experience of driving through the lake. I know, Peak District. I went through the Lake District, so is that completely different?
Yeah, we'll park
southern.
We'll park that one to one side. Yeah, that was not the anecdote that we needed for that moment.
We just offended our first guest. Thanks, so well done.
Yeah.
But the Lake District is lovely as well. The Lake District is lovely. And I grew up going to the Lake District, not the Peak District. The Peak District is something I found in later life. That's it's my new stomping ground. The hills are slightly less steep and the roads are flatter. There's more bicycles and there's more pubs and restaurants. The Lake District is, that's for the younger back and the non-ruined kneecaps.
Well, you can see where I've got the mistake. Lake Peak, it's similar, isn't it?
Both got 4 letters. That's about it, Tobe. That's about it. How's your week been, though, Tobe? All right?
Yeah, my week's been good, mate. I had a lovely wedding on Saturday,
Nice.
which was it was beautiful. It was down Watermouth Cove. First time there. It was blowing. It was blowing such a gale there. You know, when you
It
just
was
feel
windy.
sorry, especially for the bride because they're normally in just a dress. She was freezing, bless her. But other than that, it was an amazing day. Really good bunch, really rowdy, sort
Love
of quite
that.
a big party group. Which, I always like. Yourself,
that.
Chris?
Yeah, I had a couple of weddings. I went on Saturday with John, didn't I, at the White Barn, which was nice. Again, windy. Really chilled weddings, actually, these two. I had one yesterday as well. Just super, super, super chilled weddings. Which I needed, actually, because Sunday I came down with, like, this. Whatever this is making me sound like this.
Husky voiced.
So I feel like I've got, like, Phoebe's sexy phlegm. That's a Friends thing. Do you watch Friends, Andrew?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so Toby doesn't like Friends.
Well, my twin daughters are 12, and we've just gone through the entire season while it was on. I think it was on Netflix. I think it's been removed now, but we managed to make it to the end before it removed, and they love it. I didn't think that they get it at all, but they really enjoyed it.
Good.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Friends because I must be the only person that doesn't like Friends, or at least give it a proper try.
There was another episode, Andrew, that Toby was talking about. What was it you were saying, Toby? You just didn't find it funny.
I just don't really find it funny. Yeah, I like a lot of sort of
You can hang
American
up now
humour.
if you want, Andy.
Yeah, you know, it's trendy to hate on Friends, so I can
It's not.
I can see why he wants to make that
Trend.
stance.
It's not
You know.
trendy. I'm just getting hate for it.
It's not a timeless show. Certainly, there are some problematic elements in there, and but you know, it was a good talking point for me and my daughters because it gave an opportunity to explain some things, and they
educations.
they were quite shocked by some of the scenes. They didn't understand what was going on, but it enabled a conversation, and we could talk about it. And but
it's quite sad how far away the 90s are now.
oh, don't
You know, it's depressing, isn't it?
don't.
I know. Honestly, it's worrying, isn't it, how quick time's going.
So Phoebe is one of the main characters, Toby, and she's a musician. She plays guitar and sings in the local coffee shop. And one day she gets a cold, and she develops. She's not a very good singer comedically, but she develops this phlegm. And she gets ill, and it makes her a wonderful husky singer. And then she gets better. She's a rubbish singer again, and then she tries to get ill. So that's the story for you, Toby, just to involve you in the loop.
Thank you very much for including me there, Chris. Right, should we get on with finding out a bit more about Andrew? I reckon.
Please do. Who is this guy?
Oh, well, we actually recording. I didn't realise that we'd started.
Yeah, this is what we aim for, Andrew.
Yeah.
Three guys just having a nice catch up.
No stress, no fluff, no drama. You know, just have your little coffee cup full of beer. 10:20 in the morning. No judgments.
Andrew, I've pretty much listened to all your podcasts. I know you said you don't actually enjoy listening to yourself, but I've listened to them all. So
I don't listen to any of them. I can't do it. I try. First 5 seconds turns me off. I have to get out of there. So I might just say the same stuff that you've already heard, but I can't do anything about that because I don't listen to any of my past conversations and go, I've already spoken about that, so I won't mention that again. I have no recollection what the hell I'm talking about. But
Bless you. Why don't you like listening to yourself? Is it because of your accent?
yeah, I know no one likes listening to themselves, but for me in particular, I have an idea of what I sound like in my head.
Yeah.
And then,
everyone sounds
when I
completely
hear
different, don't they?
Yeah, I think we're all the same. I don't like the way I sound back, and I think you've said the same, Toby. You don't like listening to yourself, but
it's not how I sound in my head.
I think your voice sounds great for the record.
I think that these things have amplified the terror because I actually sound deep and husky and beautiful and
You do, yeah.
like a voiceover. When I'm wearing these headphones, I can hear it coming through, and it sounds fantastic. And then I'll see someone will tag me in a clip where I've said something on Instagram, and it's playing out through my iPhone, and it sounds horrendous, and I have to scroll past. I give it a double tap, and then I don't listen to it.
I'll tell you one thing, Andrew. I won't be letting my wife listen to this podcast with your voice, mate. It is very deep and husky.
Oh,
Sexy,
wonderful! Yes.
I feel like
okay.
I feel a little bit aroused listening to it. I don't know why.
Okay, I'll hang around for a bit longer then. You've convinced me.
There we go.
Andrew, you've mentioned in a lot of your previous podcasts, and it's your backstory that the reason you started making your hilarious reels, which a lot of us creatives know you for, is because your business was failing, and you were sort of.
Oh, absolutely.
Was there a moment where you generally thought this actually might be it for me with my, wedding photography career?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It was all a feeling of dread that was hanging over me for a long time as the bookings slowly faded away and less and less inquiries were coming in, and I was spending more and more money on stupid things like new cameras and a new website and a new logo. And my wife does my books for me because she's intelligent and I'm not. And I think she just kind of pulled together a little bit of an Excel spreadsheet for me and said my costs were spiraling out of control compared to what I was bringing in. And I'm one of those, for all my life, when I know we don't do it anymore, but when you go to a cash machine, hole in the wall, you put your card in and it would say, do you want to check your statement? I'd never check my statement. I don't want to see the damage. I don't want to say, just give me the money. I don't want to know how much money I've got. And that's how I've lived my life. I don't want to know how much money I've got. I just want to have enough money to get the things that I like and to contribute to the household bills. And she just kind of explained that, look, things are not going fantastic in your little business. And, you're in denial. You don't want to hear that. Like when she comes in and she sees one of the photographs that I'm working on and she says, oof, bride's not going to like that angle. And you say, no, I'm a photographer. I'm an award-winning photographer. You're not understanding the texture, the light, the composition, the emotion, and she's not going to like that angle. Okay, all right. And then you delete it. And, because sometimes you need a fresh pair of eyes on things and they kind of cut through all the bullshit. So she did kind of explain to me that things were not, on a practical business level, things were not going in the right direction. But I think when it kind of hit home I think it was December 2023 when I kind of looked at the books and said, oh, I've got 4 weddings in for next year. And at this point, I would normally have 14 or 15. Now, I've never been a prolific shooter. I mean, some of my colleagues, I don't think anyone is at the moment, but back in 2017, 2018, figures of 60 weddings a year, 70 weddings a year were being bandied around. And I've never got to those numbers. I think my best ever year maybe was 40, 45 weddings. And even then I said to myself,
enough, though,
never again.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that many again. Because of my chaotic approach to the workflow afterwards, I think 40 weddings has always been beyond me. So I've never put massive amounts of efforts in to crank those numbers up, to get to that VAT threshold to really be all that I can be. I've always just wanted to put my card in the cash machine and be able to take some money out when I need to do stuff.
You just want to be comfortable. You just want to be comfortable,
which
is,
yes. I'm not a business person. I don't have ideas of world domination. I don't want a Lamborghini. I'm not going to Dubai. I just wanted enough to do my thing, and having four weddings in December, and I thought, oh shit, if this January rush doesn't happen and I don't get a load of inquiries in January, I'm kind of in trouble here.
Yeah. How long had you been full-time wedding photographer at this point?
Since 2013, 2012, 2013. So I started way back when my daughters were born, because that's when I got my first camera, when they were born. Right. And they are 12 now, going on 13. That's how I remember. I can't remember dates properly, but I remember that I started photography that year because I remember taking pictures of them when they were newborn. And that's how I remember when I was married as well, because I got married the year before my daughters were born. So that's how I know what's going on in life, and I know that they're 12 now. And,
your whole time's just based around your daughter's birth, which is fair enough.
Exactly.
or is everything else based around when he got his camera?
Yeah,
that's when I got my camera. So that must be your birthday soon.
So 2000. I think 2003. When were they born? What's my password to me bank? It's 01 201.
Not on here,
engineering it. Yeah.
It's the 1708. Yeah, it is 2013. 2013 they were born, and I was taking newborn pictures. So that was the year that I was kind of exploring it. And then it wasn't long. It was the following year that I went full time. So I did a bunch of second shooting opportunities. I shadowed some photographers, and I eventually got 9 or 10 weddings on the books, and filled with the confidence and the rush of blood to the head. I was like, 10 weddings. If I've got 10 weddings now without really doing huge amounts of work, I can make this happen. So I abandoned my job and went into it, and it all kind of worked out.
Love that.
But things are different, and things changed. By 2017, 2018, my tactic of not doing any promotion for my business,
winging it,
kind of fell apart. Just relying on the quality of my images and hoping that people would refer me fell apart. And I'm not. At the time, I was blaming new photographers from coming into the industry and undercutting me, and blaming, cringy people who went to wedding fairs and spoke to couples in real life. And I was blaming people who sucked up to wedding planners, and I was blaming everyone for my 4 weddings that I had booked in 2023. But
I think it's when because like I said, I listened to your podcast, and it really hit home when you talk about it, because I think everyone in this industry at some point of their careers had this point where they suddenly things slowed down, and you take a look and you go, what is going wrong? And when it happened to me, I actually got in touch with Andrew. And I said to Andrew, I was like, look, I think I'm going through what you had. The bookings ain't coming in. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because I'm not showing my face online. Can you help me?
Am I funny enough as well?
Turns out I'm not. Turns out I'm not funny enough.
But what was the advice you received, Tobe?
Yeah, I can't remember what.
You actually. The thing is, his advice was brilliant, and it was a really good idea. You said that I should just film myself editing a photo I really like, and just the backstory, which is such a really good.
Sound like something I'd say. I do remember. I think the advice still stands up, because you'd have to be mad to get into this business. You have to be a creative person. You have to want to make people happy. You want to revel in the delight of taking photographs or creating videos and having people go, wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And that is a different mindset to the ruthless business person who goes, right, I need to make X amount of money this year. So what I need to do is I need to learn how a camera works to the extent that I can understand what a quality photograph or a quality video is. Yeah. And then I need to hire 3 photographers or 3 videographers, and then I need to start dominating this as a business, and I need to be sat at home while other people are out there working for me. The same way that you have self-employed plumbers and electricians and gas fitters or whatever. And the real money comes from that one electrician, and I'm using electrician as an example because my stepson is 22 and he's nearly finished qualifying, and I'm looking at it saying, yes, you're going to be on good money, you're going to be your own boss, and it's going to be fantastic. But if you want the real money and you want the real opportunity, and the sun is now shining through my window, and I have gone a very strange shade of
I've seen it happen. It's nice.
Tangerine. What the fuck?
The fuck is this?
See, this is the white balance issue. Now, I've been a photographer for 13 years. I don't understand what's happening. I've got sunlight shining in from this way. I've got a lamp set to 6,200 Kelvin. So why have I gone orange? Do I need to go like this? Do I need to
tone your
what the? Do I just close the blinds? Is this the answer? It's okay. That was it. That was summer. That's gone now. That's it. The cloud's there. That's fine. Get back to normal now.
Done.
The rain is setting in.
Summer 26 done.
What was I ranting about? Oh yeah, electricians. I've said to him, I said, Owen, you're 22. You're fantastic. You've got a girlfriend. You're going to the entry races. You've got money in your pocket. When you're qualified, the next stage, I know you're going to get your van sorted, but honestly, the next stage now is learning the business side of things.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be exciting when you start getting paid money, but learn the business side of things. And in a few years, you want 3 electricians driving vans around for you. And in 10 years, you want you want Owen's Electrical Installations Limited.
Yeah.
And I think that will sink into his mind, because I love him. He's awesome, but he's not artistic as such. And I think that the business side of things will grab him and he will want to make some money. But for photographers, for videographers, I think most of us, 99% of us, didn't get into this business to make lots of money.
Yeah. I mean,
we've always failed at the business side of things. So that simple advice of showing up, of thinking about your story and who you're speaking to and what you want to say, it's not something that I see a lot of photographers doing, because we just want our photographs to do the work. We want our photographs to do the talking, and we want people to see them and appreciate them and love them as much as we love them.
As much as we do, yeah.
But unfortunately, it don't work like that long term in business.
What's great for your own mind, your own serotonin, but when it actually comes down to the nitty gritty of actually earning a proper living from it, you need to have that business input. And I'm very much like yourself, and like a lot of us, like you said, I'm very creative. I love doing, capturing moments and editing. I love all that part. I can't stand the business part side of it.
It's the boring
bit. I hate it.
Yeah.
I honestly can't put into words how much I hate the business side.
It's never, you're never going to fix it. You can't train yourself to be interested in business, I think. If you're a creative person, if you're that creative and artistic that you got into this because you really love the photography side, or you love video and making cinematic stuff, your brain is already wired up in a different way. You're never going to fall in love with advertising and self-promotion and telling everyone how amazing you are and how you can help them and all the rest of it. So it's just a balancing act. It's just bringing enough of that stuff in as a thing that we have to do. Because I'm not a great business person, but I did realise that I had to do something. And because I'm shit at business, I did the thing that felt better to me, which is to explore this idea of personality-led.
Yeah.
It's always it happens a lot, doesn't it, where you find in life that a really big negative will always have this really big positive, and which is obviously what's happened in your case. If it wasn't for the fact that your business was actually essentially coming to a stop and almost putting you out of business, you wouldn't have then explored this idea of doing your reels and that. So it's
everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
I'm a big believer in that as well.
Yeah, me too. So Andrew, even though that was quite a challenging time, wasn't it? Realising that you had 4 weddings and you needed to make a change. So the way all that panned out, would you change how many of that happened looking back, or are you grateful for how that sort of happened?
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because I think it's one of them questions where you're like, you can't really go back and change anything, because then you just end up as a different person and in a different place. And maybe I would have ended up, if I'd done something different, maybe I would have ended up in a penthouse in Dubai or somewhere else. But I'm kind of happy where I am, and I'm excited for the opportunities that are hopefully going to manifest this year and next year. And I wouldn't change anything, because I did it completely wrong. As I've said a few times, I'm not a good business person. And it took me a few months to realise that my approach to creating content on Instagram was a terrible way to get more weddings. Awful. Because I fell in love with the the dopamine hit of entertaining other photographers, because my account had been stagnating for a few years and no one was liking any of my stuff and no one messaged me, and I was I was very negative myself. I didn't get involved in the community. And so when people started liking my stuff, I went with it. There was no strategy behind it. It was kind of, as I've mentioned before, and you've probably heard me say this, what's the worst that can happen at this point? I'm going out of business. People are liking my funny reels.
Yeah,
fuck
nothing
it.
to lose at this point. Yeah.
I'll just see what happens. Maybe the weddings will come in. I don't know, but I'm just going to keep on doing this. Everyone has an approach. Everyone wants to make sure that you're doing X, Y, and Z in order to get the maximum amount of exposure and views. Yeah. And this is the content pillars that you're supposed to be using, and make sure you consider this. Well, right back at the beginning, I didn't know any of that was a thing. I was just creating stuff because I wanted more people to be aware of my work. And the strategies and the thinking and the soul searching and the self-acceptance have all come 12 months later.
Yeah.
And then another 12 months after that is where I think I've had to kind of retrospectively go back and look at what I was doing and kind of codify it and work it out properly, because I'm really enjoying explaining the process to other photographers and videographers.
Love that.
I've heard you say it was a bit of a slow start. You actually lost a lot of followers, didn't you, at the start of doing this?
Absolutely.
Did you say 500? You lost 500 followers in the first month?
I lost, at the end of a full month of posting every day, I lost 500 followers overall net. Is it net or gross? This is why I'm no good at taxes.
Net's the final, isn't it?
Is net the final? So when you look at your account and because I didn't even know there was buttons I could press back then to see what had happened during the month. You know, the Instagram insights.
The insights.
Oh, the little insight, yeah.
I never click on any of that stuff. It was just at the end of the month,
dashboard.
I looked at the totals and I thought, wow, I've put quite a lot of effort in this month to work out how reels work. And I've lost 500 people. Now, the actual figure may have been even more, and maybe more people had come in to replace those. But overall, net, I'd lost 500. Now, I look now, just to give you an indication, and over the last, I think over the last 30 days or 60 days, I can't remember what I checked, I think I've lost 1,200 followers in the behind-the-scenes figures. But overall, I've increased. So every month, I lose, on average, about 500 to 1,000 people. They go, no, I can't take any more of this shit, and they leave. But then more people come in, and I have a net influx of people who want to see a little bit more, which is awesome.
So you're just filtering out the shit, aren't you? Really?
Yeah,
I think we'll always find that we will lose followers. I think a lot of times actually couples that have got married and don't want to see any more wedding related stuff, so they'll give you unfollow. But your growth was pretty rapid, wasn't it? After you said you had that sort of that first viral hit, and then you've then just grown and grown.
Yeah, I mean, it's been steady. It's rapid, but steady, and definitely not rapid in when you put it into context of some of the other creators, like my Australian friend who I thought was going to be here this morning, Josh. He started. You almost convinced me. You almost convinced me that he was here.
Don't lie to me, Andrew.
So he started he started posting around the same time that I did, but he got a grip of it. And he probably, because he's a very good businessman as well as a good content creator, he understood almost from the get-go what was going to do well on Instagram. He understood grabbing attention. He understood speaking to his ideal clients. Yeah. He understood how to edit things so that they got to the point quickly. So his growth has been, really 4 or 5 times as rapid as mine. He's conquering Facebook. He's doing TikTok. I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel yet, but he's doing all kinds of things. I've pretty much just hovered around on Instagram for a while I've gone through this journey of self.
I do think Josh's content would probably grab more attention because it's got a bit of controversy to it. It's very
massively, that massively. Yeah.
It's very
the first time I saw Josh hug it, and it was just a reel of him shouting at a group of wedding guests, and swearing at them and telling them to fuck off. And I was like, you can't say that at a wedding. He's Australian. They can do anything down there, can't they? And so I've just watched his success, just based on that model.
And the nice thing with Josh is that despite gaining all this attention and these followers and getting traction, he still 90% of his stuff is talking exactly to the people that he wants to work with, which is why, unlike me, he's still shooting 50, 60, 70 weddings a year. But he's built that on the back of already being a successful photographer. Before he got onto Instagram, he was in charge of he was running a photography studio that was doing 150 weddings a year. So he is, when you find these freaks of nature who are good at business, and they can continue to put out a product that people want to buy. Obviously, he's not a terrible photographer because people keep on hiring him. But that combination of taking the pictures that people want, showing his personality, and being ruthless in his chasing down these inquiries and showing himself constantly, it's that perfect storm that creates one of these really successful photographers. So he was only ever going to go on an upwards trajectory. And so that's why I like his content. I do not have the mindset that Josh has. I'm very much riddled with self-doubt and imposter syndrome and overthinking things and burnout and wanting to be I want to be the best at something. That's still a little bit of my ego is filtering through. Yeah. And so when I can't be the best at something, if I can't make the best video, I don't want to make it. Despite the fact that most of my reels are very rough around the edges, I sometimes feel like, I just want to sit down and talk to the camera and explain to people what I'm trying to do with my next workshop. I know exactly what this is the tragic thing. This is the sad thing. I know exactly what I need to do, and I know exactly what I can do to increase my growth and to get my workshops cooking and get my education side of things go. I know exactly what to do, and yet I'm still faffing around not doing it because I'm still riddled with that self-doubt and that questioning everything and trying to figure things out. And it's funny because everyone has their comfort content. If you're a wedding photographer who doesn't put themselves out there showing their face, your comfort content is posting wedding photographs and saying, I had a lovely time at the wedding, blah, 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 here's what happened, here's a lovely slideshow. You can always fall back on that. And that's what you will do when you know you have to get out there and show your face and share stories and show people the process. And you don't want to because of all the millions of doubts and the noise, you will fall back to posting those photographs. I'm in this weird situation now which is probably a situation that lots of photographers would like to be in mentally, where I know for me now, my awkward stuff is simply sitting there and explaining what I'm trying to do with my education and to get people to sign up to that's my awkward bit. So for me now, my comfort content is to create a reel that will be viewed 50,000 times, 100,000 times, 200,000 times. And I'm happy to do that. I could try and go out and I'd think of one of those today. I could go and film it in the garden and I'd do it and I'd post it out there. Yeah. And I wouldn't give a shit. My face would be on there, my voice or whatever. I'd be doing whatever it happens to do, zany, chaotic, something dramatic would go wrong. And I'd post it and I'd be happy and I wouldn't care what anyone thought. And I know it would do fantastic. Or it would do all right, whatever. But what I can't do is just pop a microphone up and say, hey guys, this is what I'm trying to do today. Look, my brain's gone blank right now.
I was going to say, keep going. We can cut this, and you can have it.
And so I know that's what I've got to do. That's what I'm trying to work on at the moment. But I will find every excuse under the sun not to do the thing that I need to do.
That's your next reel. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is you're talking to the camera.
What I need to do is just start off with some stories where I'm talking to the camera, and I have tried to do it, and I am practicing in my own way, because inside my little community, I am doing monthly webinars where I just talk to people live. I can talk to people for 4 hours, and I know I can do it. I booked them in for a 60-minute webinar, and 4 hours later they're quietly turning the cameras off like that, because you
do bang on a bit. Don't you?
That's too much. I do. I've got a terrible problem. But I just struggle with turning the camera on and giving a 60-second yap about
so interesting,
whatever it
though,
is.
because I think a lot of people would be watching and listening to this and be surprised by that, because there is this illusion, because you do show up on your social media and you've got all these reels, and you do, and it takes quite a high level of confidence to put out a funny reel, and so like Toby, that's not for you. That's definitely not your comfort post, is it?
I'm not very good at speaking anyway. And then as soon as there's a camera in front of me, I'm definitely not very good at speaking.
Yeah, let's do a podcast.
But the whole point of doing this podcast was actually in hope that it actually helps people see who I am. My couple see who I am, and a lot of my couples do listen to this. That was one of the main reasons, and it was actually to help build my confidence up for maybe, eventually I will start doing speaking, because as soon as I've got the camera there, I freeze up. I've tried making reels. I'll tell you what, this will a little bit show just how Andrew's minds work. I did make a reel once, and I was making this reel about, is a tip, and it was how to keep the silica bags that you get, when you buy something.
I remember that reel.
Keep them in your bag, and I sent the reel to Andrew, and I said, Andrew, is this okay before I post it? And he literally came up with the best hook for it within about 3 seconds, which I would never have thought. So the hook was, I think I just had it as, here's a tip for you. And then Andrew sent back, and what you should have is, you should hook, these things can probably save you lots of money, and you probably throw them away.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
Such good.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That sounds like an intelligent thing I would have said.
There you go. See, but Toby, how long ago was that?
Oh right, I've only done one. That was last year. Yeah,
but we both remembered it.
Yeah. I
so
know.
Why haven't you done more?
I'm just going to let the dog in. One sec.
You let the dog in.
That's all right.
This is the problem. Come on. This is the problem now. My stepson Owen has decided to come round to visit, because he's got to finish a little job in the garden. So now the dog's jumping up for him as well. And my dad is still going to come in 10 minutes, and it's all going to kick off again.
That's all right.
We're not like a prim and proper podcast, are we? We're not perfectionists.
I bet you didn't have this. I bet you didn't have any of this going on with the vendor table, Andrew, did you?
Well, actually, they were quite chaotic as well. There was children running around in the background.
I could hear when I listened. I could hear.
But, Andrew, you're quite pretty as well, aren't you? Like when you sat down and put your headphones on, you did a little like.
That's just to keep the hair on my mouth.
No, I know. It was pretty. I liked it.
Oh, yeah, I practiced that.
Look at him. He's blushing now. He's like, oh, Chris fancies me.
I practice that all the time.
Loved it.
But I'm glad that you remembered the little bit of advice that I gave you there for the reel. That makes me sound competent. That makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about.
2 pieces of advice that you've given Toby, and he's recalled on this episode.
I think
It's great.
You're a very helpful man.
I'm slightly obsessed with content creation.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Is obsessed the secret code word?
No.
Obsessed is a word that we decided in a previous episode gets overused.
Yeah, obsessed.
When photographers take a photo, or they're positioning a couple, and they're like, "Oh my god, guys, I'm obsessed, and they keep saying it over and over.
Yes.
So that's become like a bit of a buzzword on the show. And then I realised you probably didn't know that.
Well, that's okay. The word definitely fits my obsession with not so much content creation, but the thought, the thinking behind all these pieces of content is what I'm most interested in, and that's why people. I always worry that people think I've scammed them when they come to a workshop, because when I did my first content creation workshop, I think most people were expecting me to say, right, you get your phone, put it on a camera stand, and we're going to shoot in 4K so you can crop in, and you want to use 30 frames a second, and you want to do, and it was none of that. It was all mindset. What are we trying to do? Who are we trying to speak to? How do we grab attention? And how can you make content that says something about where you are in your little business journey? Yeah. And I think, half the people were probably like, oh, this isn't what I signed up for. But that's the bit that I enjoy the most, and that's what I've kind of leaned into. Life would be a lot simpler if I just made a PDF that said, $27, download this, here's 500 hooks for a wedding photographer, and then just ran Facebook ads all day.
But it's
but I
in
think
the long run of things, it's not useful, is it? Because you want to be able to.
No,
you want to be able to
not
learn.
at all. Not at all. What I want people to do is just to think about what they're trying to do, and unfortunately, that does mean having a little bit of a strategy. And people often hate people talking about strategies. So I don't have a strategy. I just have a little pathway that I want to take people down from. Yeah. Complete beginner, someone who's sat down, maybe a photographer like myself who's, happy with their work, doesn't really know what they're supposed to do on social media, and then ends up in a little bit of a negative spiral because everyone else always seems to know what to say and what to do, and it becomes a little bit miserable trying to keep up. So I'm trying to speak to that photographer and say, okay, there's a different way you can approach social media so that you don't hate it, so that you use it as the tool that it really is for us, because we are small businesses. That's what we are at the end of the day. We're trying to book work. We need to promote our products. Social media is one of those tools that we have, and some people think that social media is an extension of our personal life, or it's something that dictates your worth. If you don't have lots of followers and they don't like your photos, then your product is not worth as much as the next person who's got lots of likes and shares. And I'm trying to explain to people, because that's what I used to think, and I'm trying to speak to those people and say there is a different way of thinking about social media. Let's use it as a tool, and just like any tool, like Lightroom or Adobe Premiere, or whatever it happens to be. Let's learn what some let's learn what some of these buttons are. And it's like Photoshop. I've used Photoshop for 13 years, and I only use the same 4 buttons inside it. It's got 5 billion functions and stuff that I've never used. And I think sometimes social media is like that first time you open Photoshop and you look at everything and go, I have not got a clue what to do here. So I just want to highlight I just want to highlight a few buttons for people and go, look, that bit, that's all you need. Just worry about that bit and worry about that bit. And then if this happens, use that, and just, that's all you need to do for the next year. And once you get to the end of that, you won't need to listen to people like me. You'll know what you need to do. You just go and do it. You'll figure it out. You'll be much happier, and you'll look at social media for your small business as what I think it should be. It should be used as a tool.
So this probably segues right into a question I did have. What are your goals for this year? What is your end
world
plan?
Domination.
World domination.
Dominate the photography industry. I need to finish my online community /course, because that is going to be where I invite everyone to come and learn about this stuff going forward. I do webinars and I do workshops, but I want to have like an evergreen presence where when I do finally do my talking head videos, If people want to come and join me, if they want to join my little community, that's where I'm going to drive them. But it's not finished. It's still in beta mode. I'm still figuring things out. People have been, keen enough to come and join in there and listen to me waffle on, and I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And so that's one goal this year: get that finished, get 400 people in there joined up. The next goal is to get over this fear of showing up and speaking, just talking head, find a cozy corner and get on with it. I'm going to continue to look at content that I'm never going to be asked trying to create. And then I'm going to hopefully post some more wedding photographs, because I've got a few weddings booked in this year. So I am going to post some more of my work. What I would really like to do, is to kind of balance my income stream. A little bit of weddings and a little bit of education and a little bit of my community.
Amazing.
And
do you think that if you obviously really want to push the education side, which I don't blame you, do you think anyone pushing education within the wedding industry should technically still be shooting weddings to keep on board with, everything or not?
Yeah, I think I still love photographing weddings, and I still love the work that I produce. I still think it's relevant. And I actually think that now I've spent 2 years kind of being unapologetically myself. Oh, that's a phrase that everyone likes to use, isn't it? But I genuinely, lots of people will say that, but I think for the last 2 years, I have been unapologetically myself, which means I'm more excited now to share some of my photographs, because I'm much more in tune with the story that I'm trying to tell. In the old days, I would post the photograph and I would kind of hope that people would book me from that, and I would hope that the photograph would do all the talking itself. But now I feel like I can actually say something interesting about what I'm trying to do, and I can say it to the people that I want to work with, and I can explain some things to other photographers, because I want to do some education as well. So I've got this other avenue of talking about my work. So I think to be taken seriously, you've still got to shoot a few weddings to kind of keep yourself going. It's about this concept of attracting people to your page, and that can come in many different forms. It just so happens that over 2 years, I've leaned into humour as being the thing that works for me, and that won't work for everyone. But there's all kinds of different ways you can attract people. And the other thing is that things have slightly changed over the last few years. You don't need millions and millions of people to look at your account if you're just trying to book 40 weddings a year with your ideal couples. What we need to get over is this idea that we need lots and lots of views in order to book weddings. We need an amount in order to keep fresh eyes filtering through, to keep people passing along the journey that you're creating them, or the funnel system, as the course bros would call it. But me explaining this stuff to people when they say, but how does that work for me? It is most of the strategy that I teach, this idea that you can create content which doesn't get very many views, and it does exactly what it needs to do. And you can look at my account for this, because I have very specific types of content. One is designed to get lots of views, and I don't try and sell anything. I just post a funny reel, and it gets lots of views. Then I will post my content that sells something, and it gets a tiny little fraction of the attention that my funny stuff does. And the old me 2 years ago would have panicked and deleted that content because it's done shit. But now I understand that that's just human mentality. We don't like being sold to, but we like to buy stuff. So I expect every time I post anything that has anything to do with sales, selling my services, it's going to get no interest. But what happens behind the scenes is that people click the links, they buy the tickets, the workshops fill up, and it all happens kind of off the platform.
And you make some money.
Yeah, and you make some money. Now I understand that. I don't get upset when a piece of content does crap, because it usually is because I'm trying to sell something, or I'm trying to tell a little bit more of my story. I'm trying to nurture my audience, and that's not going to do as well as me falling over in the garden.
The thing is, with your education, it's such a broad spectrum of people it can go to. You can makeup artists will, the makeup artists, hair, anyone in that wedding industry would benefit from your education courses.
Yeah. I think ultimately the goal might be to create something that appeals to a wider audience. Still probably within the wedding industry, but a few people have said to me, "Oh, content creation, well, that's for everyone. You should just do it aimed at small businesses." But I find the problem with weddings, I can get really specific and I can draw upon my own experiences, and it all comes a lot more naturally. And I think at the beginning, although I'm a year into this, I'm still at the beginning, and I want to be able to really nail it. I want to get as good at it and talking about it as I can possibly get before I try to suddenly talk about these issues with hair and makeup artists who might have they have a whole different world of stuff that I don't understand. And when I get confident enough in my own strategy, and when I can explain it and not have to constantly refer to my wedding photography experiences, then I might be in a position to do that. But that's I think part of the reason I don't want to do that is because I see constantly on my search page, my Instagram search page, I see the algorithm has decided that I need to be taught content creation. So 2 years ago, I would see nothing but Jose Villa's wedding photographs to depress me for that month. Now my Explore page looks like a bloke behind a microphone telling me that I need to start showing my face online more. So I just see a bank of generalized content creation advice, and I think I don't want to add to that noise. What I don't see very often, and maybe your Explore page will look different, but what I don't see is a wedding photographer talking about this too much. I've seen a few big names. Oh, and there's one big name in particular, God bless her, she's much more influential than me. She's got a big account. She's fabulous. And she's just brought out an Instagram education course for photographers. And I was like, oh, you've done me. You've scuppered me, because you're way more, you've got a much bigger account than me. And you're going to be out there, and you're going to be destroying whatever it is that I've got. And it has taken me a few weeks since that happened to kind of get back to the realization that there's more than enough room. There's different approaches. It's just like wedding photography. There's different approaches for everyone. And if people want to come and listen to me, then they're going to come and listen to me. Now it's my job to just put my story out there. And if people want to come and listen to that, then they can. And I think for a certain type of photographer,
it's quite niche as well. I think it's always really good to have, when you're trying to build something, to have something that is going to attract a certain type of people. Because I think, even though you were saying about this other lady or woman who's just brought out this massive education,
she will remain nameless.
We're not going to plug it.
We're not going to plug her, Andrew.
She's lovely. She's lovely. It just kind of came out of nowhere and blindsided me, and only because I thought, shit, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Was she on your educational course the week before?
Yeah. No, she's operating in a different league to me. She's up there. I'm down here.
Oh, I'm sure
in
not.
The trenches.
If you're down there in the trenches, where are me and Chris?
In the trenches, mate. But do you know what, Andrew? You've made it. You finally made it onto the Shooters Wedding podcast with 208 followers.
That's it. This is it. This is a highlight.
We've got to start somewhere, Chris. We've got to start somewhere.
Don't brag.
I know 2 weeks ago he was doing the vendor table. Now he's just with little old us, eh?
Hey, I don't discriminate.
Clearly.
Before we run out of time, because we've got a few people who have got some questions for you, Andrew.
Oh, right, okay.
In the Agony Uncles.
Agony Uncles. You may not know what this is, Andrew. Yeah, it's like, apparently it's because it's like Agony Aunt, but because we're boys. So I didn't understand it originally. And I'm quite an intelligent man, Andrew, right? But I was like, why are we calling it Agony Uncles? Like, what's this about? And I just didn't make the connection in my mind.
No one reads newspapers anymore, do they? So Agony Aunt is just...
They don't.
That's not a thing.
Dear Deirdre in the Sun, yeah. When I was a kid.
I think there was a Marge. There was a Dear Deirdre. I feel like there was a Marge as well, or was it Mystic Meg?
Marge.
She's
Mystic
something
Meg.
else.
Mystic Meg.
That was something
She
else.
did your star signs, didn't she?
She did.
She was creepy, wasn't she?
She was creepy. Didn't she do like the... I don't know if I'm imagining this in my head, but just before the National Lottery, on the TV, she would come on with her crystal ball. And I bought into it as a kid.
I do remember
I was born
that.
in the early 90s. And I remember being a kid watching it thinking like, oh my God, like, is she deciding the numbers? Like, I remember saying to my dad, like, why don't you try and be friends with Mystic Meg? And then get her to, like, just pull out your numbers, Dad.
Yeah, she was real.
She was real. Where did she go? What happened to Mystic Meg?
She must be pretty old.
Well, yeah. But, I don't know. She was quite a big thing when I was a kid, so...
She's dead.
Why are we laughing? That's horrible.
I know. Oh, you googled it?
It's just I was confused because I googled Mystic Meg and it came up as an article 11 hours ago. You know, something's been posted, and I was like, oh wow, she's still going. And then to the right of that, there's the Wikipedia article says died 9th of March 2023. So. That's all about.
That would have been weird, quite mystic in itself, if she just died today. R.I.P. Mystic Meg. Right. You were a staple of our childhood.
Oh,
even if you did creep us out.
Yeah.
Let's get on with Chris. Do you want to introduce the old Agony Uncles?
Okay. So it is time for Agony Uncles, which is our favourite section, isn't it, Tobe?
It is, where we get to give back to the community.
Yeah, and for the first time, we get to do it with a guest.
I'm very excited.
Just briefly, because I realised at the start of this podcast, we haven't mentioned why we haven't got John with us today.
Oh, yeah.
I just realised John's not available, sadly. Some listeners might remember he had a bereavement in his family a few weeks ago, so he's just dealing with that. So taking some much-needed time out away from the podcast. So just myself and Tobe, I'm sorry to say, and John's been replaced by the devilishly handsome Andrew Keher today on our Agony Uncles section.
Do you have wedding drama? Are you overwhelmed with planning? Is your bridesmaid annoying you? Or is your mom just pissing you off? Yeah, talk to the Agony Uncles. Talk to John, Chris and Toby. Talk to the Agony Uncles. Talk to John, Chris and Toby. Chris and Toby.
Loved it, didn't he? Love that. Look, I like making Andrew blush. That's like my new favourite pastime.
It's just the colour of this light that's ruining me at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Comes and goes. Whenever I say something flattering to him, like the light changes.
Okay, so let's do the first one. And the first one is specifically for Andrew. It's from Brett James. He says, "Hey Andy, big fan, as you well know." He's been sliding into your DMs, hasn't he? Do you worry that you will be known as a social media content creator than the talented photographer that you are?
It's a real issue because every time I post a photograph, most of the comments are like, "I didn't realise that you that you shot weddings. I didn't realise that you were actually a photographer.
You're actually not bad at it either.
You make jokes about photography." Yes, I think that is part of the goal for this year, is to bring more balance to the force. I'm going to try to be posting more photographs. I am moving a little bit into, I know I do a lot of personal branding education. I am going to move into the photography education as well. A lot of people have been asking, and I've got some things coming up where I may have acquired backing from certain elements.
You got
So they
Is this a Shooters Wedding Pod exclusive?
They forced my hand. They've dragged me back into the wedding photography industry. So I'm going to be doing some stuff.
So I don't think people realise. I think your work's phenomenal. It really is. It's
great. It's great.
Thank you. I do need to update my website. Hasn't been updated in 3 years, but I do need to. It's on my list. It's on my list of things to do.
Do you know what? It's funny you should say that, because I looked at your website recently, Andrew, and I was like, this is not what I was expecting. There's just not as much like personality on your website.
Oh no, there's no personality on my website.
Yeah.
I messed up my website because I invested in my website when I was going out of business. It was a bad time to do it, and I was trying to paper over the cracks, and I thought, well, a website, that is what I need. I need more bookings. Let's do a shiny new website. And then halfway through the process, the website designer said, okay, so just hook me up with your copywriter's details, and we'll figure out the text that needs to go on the website. And I said, what's a copywriter?
Yeah.
And he's like, what text that's going to be on there? What am I working with? And I said, well, I thought you did that.
You're the web designer. Design a website.
I thought that because we went through these. He's an awesome guy, but we went through these discussions. And he was talking about my brand and where I wanted to position myself, and he extracted all this information from my brain, and I thought, wow, this is going to be amazing. I thought that was all going to go into the wording and all that kind of stuff, but no. Apparently, you need a whole other person, another human to do that. So I had to do it myself, and I was negative and I was depressed with the whole thing, and I kind of got halfway through and thought, I can't be arsed with this. So I filled it up with generic stuff. But on its first iteration, I was taking text from my old website, which had been refined over flipping 10 years. And I'd obsessed. I had obsessed over every sentence. So I just basically fed that stuff onto the new site, rearranged a few things, and then the free version of ChatGPT, or maybe it was something else before ChatGPT. Maybe it was Google's. Someone had it out anyway where I could ask it things, and it gave me ideas. So I used a few things of that to help pad it out, and then I haven't I haven't really touched it in about 3 years.
Right.
So I need to get on there. I need to sort it out. I forgot this was an Agony Uncles section, and I'm waffling on again. So let's break it down to a smaller bit. Yes, I have worried about that. I was less worrying about that when I was moving into personal branding, because I thought I'm just going to do everything with personal branding education. But now I actually want to do some photography education as well. So I need to bring balance back. So yes,
I think
cool.
Yeah, great answer. Do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, so we got one from Paul Aston, who is a photographer down south with us,
and he's also a massive fan. I know that
he is. Yeah, he does love.
He was really excited.
Hello,
he was
Paul.
really excited when he had.
You say hello, Paul, to Paul.
Hello, Paul. How's it going? Thank you for following along.
Lovely. So Paul's asked a few questions. I'm going to hit you with one. He's asked you, what secretly annoys you at weddings, but you would never say that to a couple?
What secretly annoys me?
He's gonna say, nothing.
No, loads of stuff annoys me. I'm just trying to think of an intelligent part of the day that's a bit different. But no, I think what annoys me, what actually annoys me, is when you have all these conversations with the couple, and they are completely invested in the way that you're going to work. And that's something that although I was going out of business, my problem was that I didn't promote myself and my work enough. It was never a problem with the work or how I spoke to my couples. If I sat down to speak to my couples, I would always, 9 times out of 10, that was my booking. I meet them in the pub down the road. We have a shandy and we talk for hours. I can talk a lot, and the booking's done.
We know.
I have no sales tactic, but I talk a lot and I really get into it. And we have conversations, and they are completely trusting of my approach, which is how they are my ideal couples, the ones who say, we just want you to do your thing. But then you turn up on the day and within about 5 minutes, a bridesmaid usually will say, "There's a great picture for you over there. I've set this up, or I'm thinking what you could do is why don't you sit Claire down in the chair over there, and we'll sit there and." I have to go, and I'm sat there, and I have to kind of bite my tongue a little bit because the bride usually is out of earshot, and then you have people suggesting all this stuff, and you kind of my ego, which I've done so well over the last couple of years to like crush it down. I want people to enjoy their day, but it flares back up, and I almost want to stop everything, sit down, bridesmaids, sit there, all of you. Can you just sit on the couch for a minute? We need to go through a few housekeeping items. And like, number one,
bring that
do
in.
not ever tell me what you think is a good photograph, because I'm going to be honest, I don't care. I'm shooting the way that I shoot. I'm looking for certain things that wouldn't even cross your mind. Scenes that you wouldn't envisage in a million years. Stood there with your TikTok out, ready to try and film something. Sit down and shut up, because I'm at work. That's what I want to do. And for a brief second, but usually I have to say, oh yeah, do you know what? Yeah, we might try that a bit later. If we get time, we'll do that. And I know that's probably annoying for some people. Other people will revel in that, and they'll go, yes, that's cool. Let's do that. I want to be more like that person. I want to be more like, that's a great idea. Let's try that. Let's do it. Let's make everyone happy and joyful. But yes, if I'm being human and real, my ego still flares up and wants me to say, shut up.
I think that's natural in all of us, isn't it? I get the same. Yeah. And it'll be the same bridesmaids that then asks you for a bloody photo shoot later on in the day.
Yeah. So there's lots of things that annoy me, or traditionally have annoyed me, which I'm trying to embrace more and not bring me down, because it doesn't matter. I'm still going to get all the stuff I need to get. So if I have to do something for 5 minutes to make someone happy, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a pretty positive attitude, was it?
Just tell him to shut up in my head.
Yeah. I tell the shampoo bottles all about it when I get home that night when I'm in the shower.
Shampoo bottles.
Yeah. They're my little audience.
Yeah, Tresemme.
When I'm like that. What I should have said.
Which, funnily enough, actually brings us on to our next one, which was by Romy. It is Romy, isn't it? Chris, is it Romy?
Yeah,
Romy, yeah.
That's how you say it. She said Czech, so you have to say she's a different flavour of Europe to us.
She says, can you ask what his hair care routine is? And we've just had it.
Of course you did. So she's a makeup artist down here, Andrew. For she does a bit of hair as well, I think, actually.
My hair's getting crazier by the month. I'm sure when I look back on the content from last year, and it was a lot straighter and more manageable. These days, it seems to be going crazier. So I'm not. When you get older,
right,
does it just lose something? You'll have to tell me. But I don't really do anything. I just shampoo and conditioner, once a week.
What shampoo and conditioner do you use, Andrew?
Nothing fancy. I like the old. It's whatever my better half. As in, oh no, actually, I'm not allowed to use hair stuff because it's always fibre reinforced from a company that I've never heard of and cost £30 a bottle or whatever. I have to use the L'Oreal Organics. Oh no, OGX. That's what it is.
There you go.
OGX is my weapon of choice.
OGX once a week.
Yes, I was told. I used to, when I had short hair pre-COVID, I'd wash my hair every day. But I got told by the nice lady in the barbers I went to, if you've got long hair, don't wash it every day. You need that, keep it.
Let the oils.
Yeah, you've got to let all the oils come in. So now I remember that advice she gave me, and I try and. I like washing my hair though. I like the feeling. It's nice.
Yeah, like the feeling of washing your hair.
I do. But yeah, once a week or twice a week. Maybe after I've played squash on a Thursday, I'll wash it again.
Oh,
John,
you man, you.
I know. Yeah.
You manly man.
And then I
do you
steal
take-
my wife's nice hairdryer to use that. So she's got a nice one.
Can you send us a video?
Oh yeah, I'll
Don't, because he'll make it into a reel with all this background music.
get ready with me type of reel. And what they do is
Oh yeah.
they're making themselves look fabulous, and the eyebrows are going, and the makeup's going on. I love those reels because they are natural, but you have to script them. You have to think about them because it's got to finish at the right moment when they're finished. So I love those reels. But I was going to do one where I would say, "You won't believe what happened at the wedding," and then I'm just gonna and then I'm gonna put the hairdryer on, and it's just gonna go,
Not gonna hear anything.
and I'm gonna be like this,
That's iconic. Yeah,
and then at the end turn the hairdryer off and steal that line. Do you ever watch the Phoenix Nights back in the day? Do you ever watch Phoenix Nights? So then I'd finish the hairdryer and go, covered in piss. And then you know where Dave the compere is drying his hands in the toilet, and he's trying to tell a story to Brian Potter in the wheelchair, and then when he finishes, it's like covered in piss, and then he just walks out, and Brian Potter's like
It's
that.
so good, isn't it?
So that's I've written that one down in my notes actually. I've just not got around to doing it yet.
I'd probably get that one out quick before we release this then, because in case one of our 200 listeners. Or before
one of us steals it.
Yeah,
And does it first.
and
then you'll just be copying us, won't you?
Yeah, I might have to. I'll try. I might do that one today then.
We've got a little short one that I thought would be quite fun. The one from Flynn. I'm going to read that.
Okay, go on in.
Okay, so a guy called Flynn has written in.
Hello, Flynn.
And I know that John's not on the call today, but he's asked you specifically, Andrew, John, Chris, or Toby, snog, marry, avoid.
Is this is some kind of trend that I'm not in on the joke.
You know, it's not very avoid. It's we'll skip
You
that
know
one.
the
Then.
game.
I don't know. I'd say I'll let you draw straws.
Draw straws.
Yes.
I don't know which one I hope I get.
Well, that could be a whole other conversation. Oh, do you know what it is? I think it's the more rude version of that. I think that I was thinking of. It's like snog, marry, avoid. I don't know what that is. Isn't there?
It's a PG version, yeah. So one of us you'd have to kiss, one of us you get married to, and one of us you leave us alone. So
it was a TV series as well. It was a.
Are you googling snog, marry, avoid?
Yeah, I've got to have a little.
That was like a really crap, like Channel 4 TV series.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
2000. Looks like the kind of program that I would watch before going to the pub. Back when I had a social life.
It was really crap, but it was good. Good crap. It was right for its time. So that's so you'd snog me.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. You'd
Am I
marry Toby,
married?
I'm sure.
Well, who's got the most money? I'll marry that one.
John.
I just want an easy life. I'll marry John.
It's probably John. He works for the council.
I've got 3 kids as well, so I've got loads of baggage.
Yeah, no, I'll take the council, golden pension, triple lock, all that kind of
Amazing.
stuff. Yeah,
Nice,
definitely.
nice.
So
Perfect.
You're avoiding
There you
me.
Yeah,
Oh no!
yeah. Sorry, Toby. I'm going to avoid you.
That's fine, mate.
So I didn't think about that properly at first, but then the instincts kicked in. Well, no, you just want an easy life, don't you? So you've got to marry the person with the safest kind of income and the pension.
And he's a funny guy as well. So
that's fine.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Yeah, you know, he's a good-looking rugby-built lad, isn't he? So like, you'd have a good time.
Well, that's sorted. Then. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Okay, moving on. The next one's from Emma Jane, and she says, "This is just one for all of us, I think. I worked with a 3-person video team a year ago, and they were quite bungly." What does that mean?
Bungly. Bungly. Bungly.
What does that
that
mean? I've
means.
never heard that word.
Bungly.
I'm going to have to have a look.
of bunging. Andrew, you're like a resident researcher today. Just
Yeah, we need one.
Yeah,
One of
there's
these
no-
researchers.
bungly.
There's no definition for bungly. Oh no, hang on. To act clumsily, incompetently, or to mishandle and botch a task or operation in a
that
careless
explains the next
or
part, then.
foolish
So
manner.
She's
three-person video team.
main guy.
Like that.
Yeah, main guy kept tripping over himself a lot and running around like a loon. One guy, mainly on drone. Other guy seemed the most reasonable. Though come the more intimate parts of the day, they were quite overbearing. The Italian... What's though? The Italian team... Chris, can you read this? Because I can't read this, mate.
They were an Italian team, so there were a bit of translation issues.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd never see them again. But fast forward to the end of last year, and they show up again. It's a much smaller venue this time, and their ways of working became much more of a problem. This time, Drone Boy isn't really on. It isn't really on drone. It's Drone Boy. And all three of them seem to just stand side by side like a wall of men, shooting three abreast. Safe to say I was getting pissed, because there's no room to manoeuvre in a small area. So I was diplomatic, but then you could tell I was getting agitated. Because what's the point? The three of them having the same angle.
Yeah.
So should I have it out with them if I have to work with them again? Oh, I felt the emotion in that.
She was...
It's so I've been
She's pissed.
I've been in situations like that before, and honestly, I do not like confrontations. I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to stuff like that, and I know it's easier said than done, but I've always tried to just work around people like that with gritted teeth and tried to find something interesting to shoot around them. I've always included, sorry to the videographers listening, I've always included a few pictures of them being in the way, just for my own safety net.
Do you know what? You say that, Andy, but like I've done the same thing. When I can't avoid, I need to get a shot of something. There's a tog stood there. He or she had been in my way all day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That clip's gonna have to make it.
Yeah.
He was part of the day at this point. He's in the way of everything. Very much part of the day.
I've got into trouble before by making a comment about a couple of videographers because they were very, very close to the top table during speeches, but not as in they were close and stood up. So I couldn't. There was no way of me getting a wide shot of the table because they were stood really focused in on the speakers. So I took a picture on my phone and I posted it in a little secret Facebook group. And this is a good few years ago. There's only like 6, 7 people in it in our little local area, because sometimes you just want to blow off a bit of steam. You just
you just want to vent, don't you?
No, no hard feelings towards the videographers. It could have been anyone. It was just one of them where I thought, I really just wanted to say, I didn't have a second shooter, but I just wanted to say, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? So I posted the photograph.
Look at this dickhead. Yeah.
I still can't quite work out how it happened, and I need to speak to one of the lads in our little group. I'll tell you when we're not recording. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But somehow this got back to the videographers in question, and I got an email off them after the wedding saying that it was completely unprofessional of me to do that, and I could have spoken to them, and just a big email.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
Yeah, but
I
sometimes...
messaged back and I did say, I'm very sorry. And I sounded like a politician, but genuinely, I said to them, I was blowing off steam in a private group. It was never meant to be shared anywhere. And I said, I'm still not quite sure how it got back to you. I was not, I didn't mention you by name. You're not one of those Facebook groups where they go, oh, such and such videography, never work with them again. Yeah. That was not my intention. I just wanted to post a photograph to my 4 or 5 mates and go, what am I supposed to do here?
I was trying to do it behind your backs.
And I got in major trouble. I got in major trouble about it.
Bless you.
So I don't know. I've always been just a bit wary of upsetting any other vendors, but I can completely feel your pain. And I think the easy thing for me to say now is, which I do.
I do.
You've got to have that conversation with the couple right at the beginning, because most of them will say to me, we're thinking about getting a videographer. What are your thoughts on that? If they don't mention it, I bring it up at the end of our meeting. You haven't mentioned video, but can we talk about it for a second? And then I will say, I know some amazing videographers. Here's 3 or 4 of them. They we don't get in each other's way. And I explain all this to the couple, and they say, fantastic, send me the names.
Yeah, because it's easier for them, isn't it?
It's kind of...
they know there's no...
Yeah, I've mentioned it. I've given them the horror stories of, and I do mention that. And I say things like, it's funny that she said a 3-person team, because that's literally the scenario that I say to the couples. Not that it's happened to me, but I always say, what you don't want is to tag this on right at the end of the planning process.
Yeah.
And 3 blokes turn up with big old-fashioned cameras and get in the way. And I say, because you've just spent 2 hours telling me that the most important thing for you is that I'm unobtrusive and you can get on with enjoying your day. And hopefully I've planted enough seeds in their mind that they will ask these questions of the, how many people do you bring on the day? Oh, we bring 3 people. Oh, right, okay, well, we're not interested. I just want one person with a monopod. Yeah. Oh, but you won't get all the angles with one. But no, I want one videographer. That's all we're after. Fair. So, although that doesn't solve your problem, I think education right at the beginning of the process. I feel your pain. I'm a wimp, so that I would never say anything. I know other photographers who would absolutely walk up to those 3 people and say, do us a favour, mate. Can you just go over there? I'm going to get a few shots and then we'll swap over. And they're happy to do that. I wish I had that kind of personality, but I'm a wimp.
So I'd say it's similar, actually, back along with a photographer. And, that shot where the couple are they're walking into their wedding breakfast room, and there's a song and everyone's cheering. It's great. It's a great shot, right? Yeah. So I had 3 opportunities to get the shot. One, as they walked through the door, this photographer stood right in front of me, right? I thought, you know what, fine. I'll move round, I'll get that across as they walk past. I moved, he moved right in front of me. I was like, okay, last shot, when they're going to go sit down on their seat, right? Guess what happened?
Yeah.
I shot it, cut in front of me. And afterwards I said to him, mate, just so you're aware, right? You cut in front of all 3 of those shots. Like, is what it is. It happens. But just for the rest of the day, can you just try and be a bit more aware where I am? And I'll do the same for you. Yeah. And he took so much offence to it. I was polite and lovely. And he went, well, you've got in my way a couple of times today. I've still got to do my job. I was like, okay, look, this is in front of the couple, right? Because I've sort of hushed tones like in his ear. And he actually started to get aggressive. And he was like, do you want to go outside, mate? And I was like, this is genuine, real story. And I was like, whoa, should we go and have a little discussion out, in the other room? Because the couple are right there. And like, he went, no need, I'm going to go right. I was like, okay. And he disappeared. And I sort of did this like slow head turn to the couple, like, what just happened? And but there was other things throughout the day, like he wasn't okay.
That's insane.
I think I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, so I don't have a massive fear of confrontation. Or I didn't until that happened. And now I'm like a little bit wary sometimes of bringing it up with people.
The first thing that I say to the videographer in the morning is, hello, if I get in your way, I said, I'm very sorry. Just throw something up, throw a plant pot at me. I say, I don't mean it. I do shoot on a 35 and an 85. Sometimes I get tunnel vision. I apologise. I go all in on apologising before we've even done anything. And usually they go, oh yeah, that's fine. And then it's reciprocated and we have a good day. We have good banter and it's all fine. Although saying that, it has been easier over the last couple of years, because when I come in, they go, all right, Andrew, how's it going? I love all your reels and stuff.
Oh my God, sign me arm. It's not for me. Sign me arm. It's not for me.
And it's it is kind of cool. It's kind of cool, and we always
no paps, guys. No, but you can take one photo.
But we always have a nice day after that. But yeah, if 3 big miserable blokes turned up with video cameras who just grunted at me, I'd probably be flapping. I wouldn't really. I wouldn't really know how to deal with that. It's a shit situation, and I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry it happened to you twice. That's bad.
I know, that does suck, doesn't
That's
it?
bad news. Like, my heart would have fallen when I saw those three getting out the car again.
I feel
Fucking hell.
like the bit that stood out for me, Andrew, is when you said you have that conversation with your couples on the call.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a pre-wedding consultation thing that she can mention and say, look, who have you got for videography? And if they say these guys, she can go, absolutely do not.
Yeah.
Because of this, and this. Because honestly, I've got twice it's happened and I cannot do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
feel like
think it solves so many problems, and it's almost like a cliche now, but I love the Facebook community groups, you know, for the problems that everyone has. I like reading all the problems, but most of it just comes down to the conversation that you have with the couple right at the beginning. And it's boring to say it. Yeah. It's not dramatic. There's no big answer. There's no confrontation. It's very boring. It's just like, and accept the fact that it all fucked up. And then when you have the next meeting with the client, make sure you talk about this specific thing, because you've had that problem. And then if you're feeling really brave, you turn it into a piece of content and tell people the problem that you had, how you overcame it, and why you talk about this now to your couples all the time. And chances are that your couples might see that piece of content. They might be the ones to bring it up with you. My philosophy now is, if you have a shit situation like that, that's content for you for the next month. You can sprinkle that in. You can educate your couples. You can show your professionalism in how you dealt with it. You can highlight the issues that it would cause for future weddings, why you want to do things differently. You can explain how you felt, how your couples felt. So in some ways, be pissed off, but then in other ways go, I need to start making some notes on this situation and what's going to happen afterwards. And this could be content for me to talk about for the next month. Not in a negative way, like don't call out the people, but just talk about what happens when you have confrontation at a wedding. What happens when that confrontation happens at a key moment when you can't have the conversation? How do you deal with it then? Do your lens choices that you've brought on the day mean that you can overcome three big blokes stood in your way? The old me would have said, let's send a picture of that to my private Facebook group and complain. But now I'm thinking, what other photographs could I take in this moment? And how could that work as a little story I can tell on my Instagram or on TikTok or whatever it is? And just turn everything into a story of how you deal with situations.
I mean,
I think.
I'll just quickly end with I think 9% of the problems that we see in those Facebook groups of people having a bit of a moan about the wedding or suppliers can be solved with just the initial a good conversation with the couple, the consultation. A lot of the time, I think. Like this was just spoken about. This wouldn't be a problem. So, you've all gone silent. Hello?
Hello? I
Chris
can hear you
silent.
now. Chris has lost his...
It's my fault. It's my fault. I muted it because I'm a bit unwell. I keep muting it to do a cough, and then I forgot to unmute myself. That's all. No panic. Sorry, guys.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
I'm
just there talking away. I'm just blaming you two.
You left him hanging, and he did that thing where you get to the end of a sentence and go,
I did.
hello?
No one said anything.
Sorry, dude. I was trying to. The thing thing that stood out for me then was it's quite interesting. This is why we wanted to get you on the show, because your answer to that was make content out of it.
Yeah,
take something negative, make content out of it, turn it into a reel.
If you've got once you've got your mind in the right place for all this, and I know, turn everything into content makes people roll their eyes because they don't connect it with the story, with the journey, with the skill set. But everything, or a lot of things, can be connected back to you as a business and why you're the right person for a particular kind of couple. So when these problems arise,
it makes sense.
Turn them into something positive that can show your couple how you deal with stuff. And hopefully it'll educate them. It'll show them that you know what to do in a shit situation. It'll show that you're a nice personality because you didn't want to have that confrontation in front of them. That's a whole another piece of content is you were confronted by that photographer who wanted to have a fight with you outside or have an argument with you in front of the couple.
Absolute mad.
And it's like, no, because, I wanted to do things differently because my couple, this is their day. This is their moment. And you could make a little joke of it and say, and I've been looking at these two family members who are the ones who are actually going to have a fight on the day. I can see it right now. I can read the body language. Me and this photographer do not need to be adding to that mix. So we decided to take it. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but
Spitballing now, isn't it?
everything can be useful content if you think about it in the right way. Not just splurge it onto your stories.
That's what I was saying. It's just quite interesting how you leverage that into a way of building content that's going to benefit you.
Yes, I think.
Do you see what I mean? It's just quite interesting to watch your thought process.
And I think when people start to think of content and their Instagram page as little layers of stuff that you lay down over the course of the year, you stop obsessing. You stop obsessing over over a piece of content doing really well, and when it doesn't do really well, you get upset.
Yeah,
it's much healthier to look at your content over a 3-month period, a 6-month period, a year. We love asking people, like you've asked me today, what are your goals for this year? And I think that we need to start looking at our social media presence, our websites, wherever it happens to be, almost as a year-long project. So it doesn't matter if the thing that you spent a lot of time making and you post it today and it does shit, it doesn't matter because it's on there and it's a little piece of your story and it's going to do work for you for the rest of the year. And then you're going to keep on building on that little pieces all the time.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
We've got one last one, I think.
Oh, yes.
And
it's quite a lot.
It's
the
quite
a long one, Toby.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
because I'm talking. I'll try and do a one sentence answer.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
I'd love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think you've got it in you, and.
Do you want to read this one, or am I reading this one? I can't remember now.
Up to you. Do it. Well, I read half of your other one because you were like, you went, fuck this, it's too long. Can you do it?
No, it wasn't too long. It's I just literally couldn't understand what it said.
It was all the emotion in the typing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the angry typing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on, Toby, take
so
it
this
away.
person has said, I had an inquiry with a planner. Normally love working with planners. They help keep the timeline in order, people in order, and really just allow me to do my job. So always love a new planner connection. Initially, it all seems fine. She wanted to grab a call before the couple inquiry call. She gave me a lowdown on them and said that she would leave the call to me. However, on the couple call, I felt like she undermined me, didn't allow me to build a connection with the couple and make the process super tough to connect. Couple offs went elsewhere. Should I raise it, as she's still fairly new and I felt it was more of a dominance thing, even if she wasn't aware she was doing it? As what if we bump into each other again?
Oh, I mean, I think if she was quite new, maybe she just didn't realize. Maybe she was nervous and just just had to fill those gaps, and it came across that way. That's
not something that's happened to me before, because when I get a planner inquiry, I always tell them that I need to speak to the couple by myself, and they always there's a little bit of flapping going on, and they say that
they hate it, don't they? They do hate it.
That I can't do that, but I insist, and I say this is how I need to do it. My work is built upon trust with the couple. They have to understand my approach. I know your timeline is important, but I'm not interested in it at this stage. I need to build that connection with the couple. And then I did one last Christmas. No, it was it was. Was it last Christmas? Last November. And it was a planner. And at first I didn't have a good vibe from it, because when I wanted to speak to the couple, they put up a bit of a barrier. And I insisted and said, there are lots of other photographers that you can go and speak to, but this is the way that I work. I need to speak to the couple. I need to see if I'm going to, be on their wavelength. And I spoke to the couple, and it was a fantastic wedding. It was one of my favourite, one of my best weddings. I have got no interest in working on those weddings that are planner controlled, where I never see the couple. I have zero interest in being the tick in the box. So planners there are some good planners out there. I have lots of lovely planners who send me messages, who ask for my price list and all the rest of it. No problem with them. But when it comes down to the actual, the nitty gritty, I want to speak to that couple by myself. That's just how it has to happen. So, but her specific question: should you tell that planner at this stage? I think it would go down like a lead. I think it would go down like a lead balloon with that planner. I think they'd be defensive and not appreciate it. Maybe, probably.
I do think.
Do you just want to do it to get it off your chest and tell them? Maybe you should.
I think she should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think planners sometimes they're almost a bit possessive about that call, aren't they? Because I've had it in the past where
have you?
In the end they've joined because they literally wouldn't take no as an answer, and then they got in touch with the couple to find out when the call was because I was just trying to do it a bit secretly.
Yeah.
Then nobody else.
Just under the radar.
On the call, yeah. But I just think they just need to fucking ease off a little bit. Just, you know what I mean? There's room. Not all of them. Like I say, I've worked with some that they're just so cool and calm, but there's just been a couple where I just think it's just like Gollum with the ring. Do you know what I mean? Like, just really possessive.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good...
Do the impression. My couple. Go on.
No.
Go on, Sam.
Planners have their favourites, don't they? And it all...
Yeah.
There's a little ecosystem of planners and wedding photographers, and they trust them and they do as they're told. And a lot of it sometimes is maybe that the couple have found us rather than the planner. And we've gone off, they've gone off-piste. They've gone off the script. Here's the 3 photographers who send me the brown envelopes every month, and these are the 3 photographers who respect my timeline and all the rest of it. So if you're not going to pick one of those, I'm going to make it very awkward because, just because. Fuck it. Tell her she needs to tell her you found it not very professional, and she should get back in her box, and that you know what you're talking about, and you've been a professional photographer for X amount of time, and she needs to learn.
And then turn it into a piece of content.
And then turn it into a piece of content. There's so much more content to be created if you are confident with it and you posted it on TikTok as a talking head. There is engagement and traction out there that I do not want any part of, but which I know exist and which you could go for very easily. And that will be one of them. I've just, microphone on the end of a wooden spoon. I've just got off a call with a wedding planner, and it was the worst experience of my life. And people will go, "Ooh, tea. What's going on here?" And then they're going to lean in, and they're going to give you, and you'll get lots of comments for, and you'll get lots of comments against, and it'll all turn into a big TikTok drama. And some people thrive on that, and those opportunities are out there if you can be arsed with them. I can't. That's not my thing, but
I agree. There's a lot of people find that going for the negative stuff's just the easy route. I think a lot of the time, picking on the negativity in the all hot topics, I guess, is the quick way to get views and get likes. I mean, it's
at what cost though? Because you probably don't look very likable.
That's it.
I don't. Well, I agree. I think
because we see some stuff, don't we? We see stuff and we share it in our little group sometimes, don't we? When like photographers are being a little bit negative, we're like, "Look at this! Get a load of this dickhead."
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? We never really share it in a positive light, do we? So
there's attracting attention to your account. There's generating awareness. There's bringing new eyes in. Yeah. But I think you have to do that in the right way that's going to help your business, because yes, you can build awareness by being ultra controversial and having shit opinions on things, but now you're building awareness that you are a bit of a tit, and that's how you're going to be known. So it doesn't matter if you get 1 million views on your ranting piece of content. Those 1 million views are not really going to help you in the long term. They're not going to make people interested in the next piece of content in the right way. They're going to want to see more drama. They're going to want to see more arguments in the comments. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other avenue that we could talk about. But
How's your one sentence answering going, Andrew?
terrible,
All right.
terrible.
I called it.
I think. Well, I think that's going to bring us to an end. I think on the
I
Agony.
think, yeah, the end of Agony Uncles and the end of episode 9.
But I do want to say a massive thank you to Andrew. I think it's been really insightful, some of the stuff.
Oh, thank you very much
all
for
the
having
stuff
me on.
you said.
Congratulations, Andrew, on being the first guest of the Shooter's Wedding podcast.
Yeah.
No
You
problem
might
at all.
be something to brag about one day, but not quite yet.
What an honour! What a privilege and an honour you've had bestowed upon
Are
you.
you going to be the UK's answer to the vendor table? Because
Imagine.
we need one.
We do
need one.
need.
I feel like we do.
Well, I thought it
Do you know
was
what,
I thought it was the Unfiltered Bride podcast was our answer, but they went out of business 2 weeks
Maybe
after I
a bit
recorded my session with them.
It's awkward. Hopefully a coincidence.
Well, maybe I'm cursed. Maybe you'll be next.
Next week.
Maybe. Could have told that before we invited you. Told us that before we invited you on, Andrew. But
Did anyone ever find out the tea from the vendor? They're not the vendor table. The bride, the Unfiltered Bride.
Didn't they have a bust up? Didn't they have a
bit of a
fallout?
fallout.
I think.
I don't. I'm not on TikTok, but apparently there was lots of speculation, and it's never there's never been that talking head video where they say
No.
the rumours have
This is
been
what
flying
happened.
around, and we'd like to put the gossip to bed.
Yeah, I don't know what the tea is. But
Okay, well, hopefully you're
I just,
you'll still be around in a week or two, and you'll be able to post this
Hopefully.
episode.
But I do want to say, Andrew, that what I do really like is you generally do want to help people, and it's really nice to see someone in a status that you are, who does reply to messages, who does reply to comments, who will help
yeah,
and give out. I think
Yeah.
I think the industry
try.
need a lot more people like yourself. So thank you from me
Aw.
anyway. And that's it.
Thank you very
look
much.
at it.
Thank you
Someone who
very
gives
much.
a shit.
Yeah.
You know.
I try my best not to be a tit, but yeah, maybe occasionally I let myself down, but yeah, most of the time I think that's how you can get a bit of longevity in this overwhelmingly toxic, negative hellscape that we live in at the moment. Just try and be nice and help a few people, and who knows what will happen. Good stuff, hopefully.
Love that.
Perfect.
Hopefully there's a lot of people listening that have found that useful. I know there's one quote that stuck out towards the beginning of this episode where you described Josh Huggett as being not a terrible photographer.
Yeah, no, he's not that
And
bad.
I think he should put that on his website.
I've mentioned that to him a few times. He'll love that.
He's not terrible.
He knows I'm just winding him up. I say things like that. I say, you know what, Josh? You know, you're a great businessman. You've got a sharp business brain. You shoot loads of weddings, and you know your photographs. They're getting there. They're getting there.
Could you just give us a little rundown on the workshop you've got coming up with Josh Huggett?
Oh yes,
Yes.
So we've got a 2-day conference. I'm not quite sure what to call it. It's going to be me and Josh, a couple of days in the Peak District. We've hired a church that's been converted into some kind of space. Josh is over in the UK for the first time, and I wanted to do a little workshop with him. And I suggested, 10 people in a pub, and we'll do something. And he said to me via DM, do British wedding photographers have an allergy to making money? And I said, what do you mean? He said, 10 people in a pub, with two photographers. He said, this is my first trip to the UK. He says, I need you to go and find a space, and we're gonna fill it with people. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna talk business. We're gonna talk shooting. We're gonna talk branding and social media and mindset. He says, come on, think big. He says, think like an American photographer. And then he's like, 10. He says, what are we gonna do with 10 people? So he told me off basically and said I was thinking too small. But it's going to be some kind of educational, motivational, uplifting, networking kind of event with sandwiches.
With sandwiches. Where can people find tickets if they want to come along?
Well, I still haven't really sorted out a dedicated page. But if they
Right, okay.
if they go on my Instagram, click on a link in there that might take you to a half-built page where you can read some stuff. The fact that we've sold 30 tickets without really building the infrastructure around it shows the power of personality in your brand. So go out there, show your faces, tell people why your work matters.
Yeah. And that'll be in the Peak District, not the Lake District, right?
The Peak District, in the middle, right in the middle of the country.
Sorry, Tim.
Are there any lakes?
Not the Lake
There's
District.
no lakes.
Is there a lake?
There's a pond. There's a duck pond.
There you go. That counts
Oh, I
as a
saw
lake.
the ducks. Well, I think that comes to the end. Andrew,
No worries.
I know I've said it. Thank you so much. Thank you from me, Chris, and John, who sadly can't be here.
Absolutely.
Chris, what were your final words, my friend?
My final words, another thanks to Andrew for coming on. Really enjoyed having you on, having a guest
I
on.
really, really enjoyed it. It's been really, really insightful.
I've liked making you blush and feel good.
No, thank you for having me on. I'm sorry I've kept you for 2 hours and 11 minutes.
This is quite short in the grand scheme of things, actually.
Honestly, sometimes we're here for 3 hours. There's a lot of cabbages, normally.
It's good timing, actually. I probably do need to feed my child, make sure that she's still alive out there.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Good idea. So, to wrap up, guys, obviously I'm Chris. You can find me at Diamond Film Weddings on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the rest of it. Toby, where can we find you, my man?
You can find me at Toby Lindsay Photography on Instagram. That's my website. And all the others, I don't really go on TikTok too much.
No. Andrew, where can we find you, buddy?
I'm on Instagram at Andrew Keher. That's Keher. I'm not really on TikTok.
Yet.
Not yet.
And you can find us at Shooters Wedding Pod. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Instagram, TikTok now, actually, because we are on TikTok, because we're pretend grown-ups.
Shame kids. It's more kids, isn't it, TikTok?
Yeah, it is. That's why I said pretend grown-up.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with episode 10, which is insane. Andrew won't be with us. Hopefully John will be back, and we'll be talking about something else.
Perfect.
Whatever that would be.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Andrew.
Cheers.
Cheers, Andrew.
Catch you later.
Cheers.
See you later, guys.
Bye. Bye.